One of the questions that we get asked all the time is well, how does Better Agency compare to XYZ company? And I always say, well, first, we're on the internet. That's a big one.
Sure.
And you don't have to have servers in your office. You don't have to have an IT person on staff. Better Agency is the technology that allows you to do all of the major components of your agency in one single browser, one single platform. So, simply put, when it comes to, say, like the traditional AMS, Better Agency has over 100 different automated processes, campaigns, workflows already built into the platform, pipelines, text messaging, email campaigns, all of that. It's taking your policy downloads for new business, service, so when there's an endorsement or something that happens or claim, and automating workflows from there.
This episode of the Insurance Stream podcast is sponsored by Viva Virtual Assistants. With Viva, you can save over 60% of the cost of hiring a full-time employee. Not to mention, employees are impossible to find right now. Viva makes the whole process easy and affordable with college-educated, bilingual virtual assistants that operate in the convenient central time zone. Go to vivavs.com and see why hundreds of insurance agencies across the United States have chosen Viva for their administrative staffing needs. Again, that's vivavs.com. All right, I'm here with Nicholas Ayers. He is with Better Agency. This is part of our agency software series. Nick, thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. And tell us, I guess, a little bit about you, a little bit about your past, and how Better Agency came to be.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me on. Looking forward to the conversation here. And I've been in I started in the insurance space in 2005, originally from California, Northern California. Okay. Moved to Arizona in 2019, and I tell people, I know you're a fellow Arizonan. I tell people I'm a refugee. I'm not a missionary. I know there's a connotation about Californians moving here. So,
well, Northern California, you probably get a little bit better of a pass, right?
A little bit.
Good.
But started in the insurance industry as a producer in 2005, and then worked first on the broker side as a producer, and then moved to the captive side in 2011. I was the number one producer for that captive market, and I was fired 1 year later when I wouldn't abide by a lot of their social media strategies or things that they told me I couldn't do. I just said, I'm not going to do that. They wanted control of what we were doing, and I said no. And so in 2012, I launched my first scratch independent agency. And did that for 6 years, sold it, and then turned around and did it again with the different premise of being more of a digital agency, completely online, and we operated in 23 states. And then somewhere in that, right after that, is when I was approached by my now partner in Better Agency, and it was this concept of, hey, do you want to partner on this? And this is kind of the vision and the idea. And I said, yes, that'd be great. And I thought I could do both at the same time. And then it got to a spot with Better Agency where it was like, hey, we've got to be 100% focused on this. And so I made the decision to sell my second agency in 2020 and went full-time with Better Agency.
That's awesome. So you sold two agencies. So actually your story is very, very similar to mine. I worked captive and independent both. We launched our own agency, grew it, sold it, and now we're doing other things. But that's cool. So tell me about Better Agency. Like, what does Better Agency do for insurance agents?
Yeah, so we've built this platform around the concept of what we have defined as agency success. And traditionally speaking, when you think about agency software and the components of software in an agency, you think about the major players. You think about an AMS, agency management system. You think about a comparative rater. You think about a CRM. You think about all these sort of siloed, independent, single point solutions. And what Better Agency has sought to do is we said, we believe in this concept of not making those components, but making those features inside of one platform. So for us, an agency success platform is what we've built it's all of the major components of your agency working together so that you can have just what we've defined as one platform in one browser. Being an independent agent, I know what it's like to have 50 different browsers open. Half of them don't even work on Chrome. You've got to have a password for this, a password for that. This doesn't talk to this. That doesn't talk to this.
Right.
All of that, right? And it creates a very friction-based workflow. And so Better Agency is your technology that allows you to do all of the major components of your agency in one single browser, one single platform. So simply put, when it comes to, say, like the traditional AMS, Better Agency has over 100 different automated processes, campaigns, workflows already built into the platform, pipelines, text messaging, email campaigns, all of that. It's taking your policy downloads for new business, service, so when there's an endorsement or something that happens or claim, and automating workflows from there. So it moves things through your pipeline automatically. It triggers campaigns, all based on what happens with your policy downloads and as things are happening in your agency. So simply put, one platform in one browser is kind of our mission and focus.
Sure. So then I'm assuming, because you said, when a claim happens, it'll send out an automated email. When the endorsement happens, it'll send out an automated email. You could probably
and text and all that. Yeah. Create tasks and workflows. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm assuming cross-sale campaigns are part of this platform and kind of going through and seeing who's got home, no auto, and sending out emails to those guys, stuff like that, right?
Exactly. You can pull up your contact list. You can say, what, I want to show everybody in my agency who is with XYZ carrier, that is personal lines, that is active, and only has this line of business or these lines of business, but not this line of business. So on the personal line side, show me everybody with Safeco who's active, who has home, but no auto.
Right.
And then go ahead and take all those contacts and then one button say start auto campaign, or vice versa, or all my commercial liability policies that don't have comp, and in doing that as well. Sure. And all those campaigns are already in the system.
So if there's a commercial lines agency out there that's trying to break into personal lines, maybe you could say everybody that's got an active commercial policy and no homeowners. That's
correct.
Pretty sweet. So now this integrates with agency management system. It doesn't replace it, right? You can integrate in. It won't integrate with your current.
It wouldn't integrate with your current AMS because the current AMS platforms have no interest in doing that.
Okay, well, so then this would be your agency management system.
Again, going back to we think about these as features and not the actual thing. Yes, right. So Better Agency does receive your IBAN's downloads.
Okay, well, so then let's see, I have a client calling in and wants to make a change to their auto, so I'd go into Better Agency, I'd pull up their file, I'd notate it or make the change or whatever, and then it's in there. You got permanent logs that I'm assuming, all that data.
Yep.
Emails attached, all that stuff.
All that good stuff.
Dang, that's pretty cool. So let's talk about do you pick and choose which features you want with Better Agency, or is it just here you go, you signed up, you're a member of Better Agency and you get everything?
Currently, you get everything. So the way that we do our segmentation is more so by seats, and that's how we do our pricing. But everybody gets all the features no matter what package you're in. It really just goes by how many users. Okay, you're in this plan, which is this price, but everybody gets everything. Sure.
And then that's interesting. So, and I didn't even know all this stuff before because you and I met down at the conference in Orlando that we went to, and I kind of got an idea of it. But this is cool because I was unaware that there was this much packaged in for agents. Let's talk price. So this is 100% cloud-based, obviously, right? There's no 100%. So you don't need to have like an IT person and a tech person and all that.
You don't have to. You don't have to have servers on site. We are one of the questions that we get asked all the time is how does Better Agency compare to XYZ company? And I always say, well, first we're on the internet. That's a big one. Sure. And you don't have to have servers in your office. You don't have to have an IT person on staff. It's modern.
Sure. Now is there a portal for let's say insureds to log into to do things on the?
So the way that we think about that is when it comes to that type of experience with the user, the insured, that's not something we have an interest in building. So what we say is let's just develop a really good integration with the guys over at Glovebox who have that figured out. Yep. And let's just create an integration there. So that's what we've done on that end for a customer portal.
But it's available then. So that's perfect.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Okay. Well, that's fantastic. So let's talk pricing. You've got a lot of agents out there. Maybe owner operator just need one seat, right?
Yeah.
So what is base charge, one seat, stuff like that look like? And then, how does it scale up from there?
Yeah, so the way that we currently do it today is we have a starter plan, and you can find all this pricing for those who are watching. We're very transparent on it. You can go right to our website. There's a pricing tab; it'll show you. But
I like that.
There's no like, hey, schedule a call and we'll tell you the price. It's
right.
Here's the price.
Yeah.
So for AMS and CRM features, all that combined, we sell it in starter, growing, and powerhouse packages. So starter is 1 to 3 users. So 1 seat is the same as 3 seats. Okay. So as you grow, it kind of allows that buffer as you grow to where you have still fixed cost. And for that, you're at $449 a month. And then that's up to 3 users. And then 4 to 6 is $549, and 7 to 10 is $699.
Okay.
So it kind of breaks down to, and when you as you're growing your agency, you're adding seats, the price kind of stays still, and depending on, not everybody in your agency might not need a seat.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends on how you want to work that and move forward.
And then let's talk data transfer, because somebody out there is listening to this and they're going, this sounds like it totally makes sense. You get all the features included. How do they get their data from their current agency management system to Better Agency? Yeah, so it starts with you asking for your data file from your current AMS, and so depending on the AMS, those are intangibles we can't control. So we've seen some AMSs get it to people within 2 weeks. Right. We've seen others take 3 months. So you'll request that data and then send it over to you guys, though. Send it over to us, and then we'll help with the migration. And so one of the things that we do is, and so whenever someone asks, well, how long does it take? And the question is, kind of depends on you. Yeah. Once we get your data, it's not just we get your data and we're going to plug it in. What we do in our system relies on having good data. Yeah. So if we get your data and we see that there's 5,000 Mickey Mouses with the number 5551212, that's going to be problematic. Right. And so we have to go in there. We have to do some level of cleanup. We have to do some level of formatting. We have to do some level, because garbage we don't want to take garbage data and put it in a system, and that's not going to help you in any way, shape, or possible. So we want to sort of do our best to format the data, clean it as best as we can before we put it in the system. And, we've seen cases where it's taken a month. We've seen cases where it's taken 6 to 8 months. And that's simply because there are certain things we can't control. We can't control how long it takes for you to get the data. And we don't know it's like you bringing your car into the shop and saying, well, how much to fix it? And they've got to go, well, we got to look under the hood first. We have no idea how long this is going to take or cost. So that's how we think about that as well. So you get the Excel file, get it to us. We'll do some of that formatting and some of that cleanup. We'll work with you on that before we put it in the system. And that could take weeks. It could take months. It just depends on the data file. Sure. And then what about like emails that were attached in the client's file? The same process as all that, just a matter of all that comes in the exit file. And then the exit file. I think you said Excel. Yeah. Okay. That makes a lot more sense. So what's the price point? And I know we just talked about, it depends, but what is let's say an agency that maybe has got somebody else and switching over that's got 1,000 active clients, for example. If they've got decent data that doesn't need really cleaned up, what's the charge for importing that into Better Agency? We don't charge for importing. Oh, wow. No, there's no setup and there's no charge for importing. If we're just going to do basic things like, remove duplicates, things like that, format, make sure that this field's in that field or the right thing. Yeah. There's no charge for that. That's awesome. Where do agents go? They can go to betteragency.io. They can look at our website. You can see testimonials. You can see pricing. And that's betteragency.io. That's perfect. Well, is there anything that we missed you think that is worthy of pointing out about Better Agency? I would say, for us, we take the position that, and this is our position, that we believe that we don't believe anyone's going to invest as much into agency success over the next 10 years than we are. And so everything that we're doing, from our platform to the content that we put out, the way that we try to educate the community we try to build, whether it be through our conference or our events or through our YouTube channel or through anything that we're doing, we're investing in agency success because we believe it's not just technology, but it's community, it's education, it's all those components combined that really make an agency successful. And so that's what we're investing in. And that's when you are with the Better Agency family, that's what you're getting. It's not just give me some logins and a web interface. It's community and it's education and it's growth. It's all the things that you need to be successful in your agency. Yeah, well, and then, that's needed right now, right? Because we talk about this on this show all the time, that it's fantastic, all the acquisitions and everything like that are going on in the industry, and nothing bad about them at all because they allow people to live the American dream. But we are going to have to rethink the way we're, with how much is going up and kind of, we're becoming a big business, top heavy type of industry. We're going to have to rethink the way that we support independent agents, mom and pop insurance shops, people that are just getting started on their own, because without these competitive features, there is no way to compete with the level of automation and the level of things that are going on over there in big business. It's just not going to happen. So this sounds like a way that somebody can scale, because that's the other thing, right? Is there's this huge labor supply shortage right now. I mean,
Sure.
We got super low unemployment rates, but we kind of got the gig economy thing going on where, with the people that are, CSRs making $15-20 an hour, they can go make that in 3 days delivering groceries now a lot of times. So, we as agency owners, we got to rethink the way that we are operating our agencies as far as the technology flow goes. And then ultimately, right, so you're already getting your agency management system. You factor in how many cross-sale emails and the accuracy factor and stuff like that a producer would do, and then the amount of calls they could make or the amount of emails they could make in an 8-hour day. Really, you're light years ahead going this route. Even if there were employees available,
Right.
this is much more much more efficient. So
Absolutely.
cool.
No, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, right on. Well, Nick, I appreciate your time. Thank you so very much. And check it out, betteragency.io. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Abe.